Good luck.
Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün ABD'nin Maryland eyaletindeki en büyük ikinci üniversite olan Towson University'de eğitimi Jose'den dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı questions kısmından sormayı unutmayın. Yes, Jose, the stage is yours now.
Thank you. My name is Jose Infante. I am the Associate Director of International Recruitment and Admissions at Towson University. Today I'm going to talk to you about, I'm going to give you a quick overview on how do you pick a school and how we select students. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about Towson University. So I'm going to share my screen right now. So let's hope this all works. Here we go. And we are a go. So as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm going to talk to you about how you select, or you should select, a university and how we select students. So let's begin by a small analogy. If I was there in person, I would be handing out cookies. I would be asking you to pick your cookie. And then I will be asking you, why did you select that cookie? Okay? So you probably are going to tell me because of the texture, because of the taste, because of the ingredients. Here's the challenge. In all the selection of cookies, you have to pick one, right? So let me give you an option here. This is what the supermarket looks like. And in this aisle, there are a lot of cookies. And again, you just have to pick one. Now, this could represent what is your mood. What are you going to do? So this aisle of cookies represents the selection of colleges and universities that exist in all of the United States. In the United States, there are approximately 5,300 colleges and universities. And again, you have to choose one. So what are the ingredients that you're looking for when you are picking a cookie? If I would have asked you, some of you have said, oh, I like it because of the ingredients, because it's the cookie soft, because I like chocolate chips, because I don't like chocolate, because I like creamy, whatever it was. When it comes to universities, you're going to do the same. You're going to be asking the questions like, am I going to a 2-year school or am I going to a 4-year school? Does it have the academic offering that I want? Does it have a backup plan? Does it have the alternative to that backup plan? What about money? How much does it cost? Do they have scholarships? How do we? So the question is, those are your choices. The question is, how do we select you? So I'm going to tell you what kind of cookies I like. I like chocolate chip cookies. And I like cookies with the most chips. So what are those chips for an admissions office? Those usually are grades, extracurriculum activities like sports, volunteer work, a balance between the two. The idea of you being able to carry a full workload at school, being a good student and playing a sport and being part of a theater club or doing volunteer work. Whatever that is, those are the things that we are going to look at. Those are the things that we in admissions are going to value. Now, the question is, what do you bring to the table? Okay? And this usually is a question that I advise most students to do in their essay. Most applications for college will require an essay. And I will ask you to write, what is it that makes you unique? What is it that makes you that cookie that I want to have? So here is something that you need to know going in. What you bring to the table as of right now is the fact that you are an international student. So that's a huge asset. Now, the fact that you are an international student, you'll be competing with other international students. So the question is, what else makes you unique? What are those chocolate chips? The power is in your hands. Now, let me tell you about what are the ingredients for Towson University. We are the fastest growing university in the state of Maryland. We have about 22,000 students in total, with around 1,900 undergraduate students. We are a pretty diverse university. We represent over 47 states and over 79 countries. Our top majors for our university for international students are business administration, computer science, nursing, biology, accounting, and information technology. We are located in the state of Maryland, as I mentioned, which is in a little town called Towson, Maryland. This is a few miles away from Baltimore City, 3 miles away from New York City, and an hour away from Washington, D.C. This particular location provides you with one of the most important top 15 metropolitan areas for academic and employment opportunity. What that means to you is that it provides you the opportunity to have experiential learning. And what that means is that you could apply what you learn at school in a company because of an internship, because of a job. The state of Maryland is not a brand name state like New York or California or Texas, but we are one very calm, complicit state. We're the sixth biggest state in the United States, according to U.S. News World Report. We're called the Little America because we have a topography that ranges from oceans to rivers to mountains to valleys, and diversity of our people. 40% of Marylanders are of mixed race, and about 15% come from outside the United States. Towson University offers over 60 majors throughout 6 colleges, including the Honors College. We offer pre-professional programs, which include pre-law, pre-medical, pre-physician assistant. We also provide accelerated programs. So for example, an accelerated program could be business management with supply chain management. Another one could be accounting, where you can get your bachelor's and your master's in 5 years instead of 6. That's why they're called accelerated programs. To apply as a first-year student, all you would need to do is to fill out the application, pay your $45, and provide your official transcripts and a personal essay. This is the personal essay where you are writing, what do you bring to the table? What are those chocolate chips that you're bringing to the table? In terms of your high school transcript, I'm going to ask you to understand that it's a communication between institution to institution. If you send me your transcripts, it's a copy, and TU does not accept copies. So please make sure that it comes from your institution. If you, as a international student, you have to provide English proficiency, and we are test flexible. So we accept IELTS, TOEFLs, Duolingo. Please note that we don't require for you to take the SATs as part of the admission process. We would take your SATs if you take them, and we would use them to meet your English proficiency, but it's not a requirement. Most popular students will take the IELTS, the TOEFL, or lately Duolingo. Our admissions deadline would be November 15th for regular admissions for the spring. December 1st would be early action for the fall and the honors college. And January 15th will be the hard deadline to apply for the fall. The reason why we want these deadlines and they're so early is because we want to make sure that you have enough time to get your I-20 documentation in order so you can start setting up your visa appointment. One of the things that Towson University offers are scholarships to our international students. We're proud to say so. They range from $4,000 all the way up to $11,000. We are also part of that You Are Welcome Here. We usually select 1 to 2 of those scholars. They're very competitive. It's a separate application, and it's based on your essay and your arguments versus all the other participants. Please understand that if you are awarded an international student scholarship, and then you win that You Are Welcome Here, we will eliminate the student international scholarship, and you will all be awarded the You Are Welcome Here. They will not be stacked. Let me go back to the international student scholarship. When you apply, you will automatically be applying to that scholarship. You don't need to do anything else. If You Are Welcome Here, you need to write a separate essay. And that's pretty much it, folks. Those are my ingredients. These are the reasons why you should come to Towson University. As I said, we have an array of programs, and we are here to serve you and provide you with the best college experience so that you can become a high-level professional. I'm going to turn my camera off. Just see if I can do this. Stop sharing. Come back here. All right. And I noticed that we have some questions. So let's go back to what are the most popular majors among international students? As I mentioned during the presentation, the most popular majors are business administration, computer science. Within computer science, I have to say that cybersecurity and information technology are probably the 2 fastest growing majors there. We are one of the few schools who has been awarded by the Homeland Security as a school that is able to provide cybersecurity and for cyber attacks. Nursing, biology, accounting, and information technology, as I mentioned. How about approximate living expenses in Maryland? The approximate living expenses, according to our international office, is about, let me just see this, $19,000 to $20,000 in terms of expenses. So what we're saying to you is that for an undergraduate, between your tuition and living expenses, for the purposes of you going to present your financial documents for the federal government, we're talking about 45,200 approximately. What are the most popular majors among internet? Okay, we did that. Can you inform us about the accommodation options? Absolutely. We have 16 resident halls available to you with different styles. If you want to see more about them, I would suggest that you go into our website or go to our YouTube channel, TU Crips, where you'll see and students put on shows that showcase the residence halls. Can your university help students to find a job after graduation? International students will have the opportunity to do an OPT for about 24 months. And yes, our career services is one of the best in the States. 88% of our students who graduate will find a job within 6 months. And 79% of them will be working within their area of study. That was the most impressive side of it. I am a current student of a bachelor's degree program. Can I apply for a transfer? Yes, you can. As a transfer student, we would need your college transcripts to be evaluated by a company like WES or Spamtram. Have them evaluated, send it to us, and we'll take, and everything's pretty much the same thing that I mentioned through the application process. Fill out your application, $45, the transcripts, the essay. Yes, a resume would also be useful. Do you accept Duolingo? Yes, we do. And the question is, do you accept Duolingo? And if not, do you offer professional English? We have an English language center. So if you do not meet our English requirements, you have the options of taking the exam again, or coming to us and have what we call conditional admissions, where you would go to an English language center, pass level 5, and then reapply to the university. And it should be a straight shoot from there. By the way, conditional admissions basically means that you have the academics proficiency to be admissible to the university. You just don't have the English proficiency. And so you are going to our English language center to get that English proficiency to enter the university. Does the university have athletics? Yes, we have 19 teams, Division 1. I would ask Ferda, what sport are you talking about? If you're talking about men's soccer, we have women's soccer. We have a men's soccer club. Does 4 to 12K value of a scholarship deducts from tuition? Does your offer valid for only first year? So our scholarships are for 4 years. I do not understand the first part of the question. Are there any internship opportunities? Yes, there are many scholarship opportunities. What I usually recommend students, particularly international students, is to begin to meet with your career, go to our career center, meet with your advisor, and begin the process, basically either academically to start building your resume, prepare for internships, for interviews, and they will help you apply to various different companies. Can we get conditional acceptance if we cannot reach a good TOEFL score? The answer would be yes. I mentioned that before. And if you have the option of trying to take it again or be accepted as a conditional admission, and go through our English Language Center. I don't know that we have a cycling club. I know that we have a brand new gym. And if you're talking about stationary cycling, I know that there are classes at various different times of the day. I also know that if you have other people that are interested in cycling, that it's just basically bicycling, with about 4 or 5 people, you can create a club, and we will help you build that club. By the way, I go to meetings on a bicycle. From my building to the next building, it's a beautiful thing. It takes 5 minutes. Can we study English? Can we study English prep here at Towson University? Yes, we can, through our English Language Center. Here in the state of Maryland, Towson has relationships with pretty much with all of the 2-year schools. So from Baltimore Community Colleges to Garrett Community College to the CCBC, which is Community College of Baltimore City, I think. I don't, there's a lot of them. So yes, if you want more information, please write me at the email. I'm going to put it in the chat so that you guys have it. And I can connect you with, if you want to do a 2-year schools, I can connect you with several people that we are affiliated with that would help you get there. And then you can transfer you can transfer from there to Towson. It is an option. There it is, folks, for all of you to have. Are there any more questions? I think I did this a little bit too fast. Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, thank you very much for your answers, Jose. Maybe we can talk about a little bit of the corona situation down there. Like, do the students need to get the vaccination? Do they need to use masks? Those kind of things. Maybe you can mention.
Sure. Right now, the university is working to become completely in person. All students are wearing masks. Right now, I'm not wearing mine because my door is closed. But if I should leave this office, I have to wear my mask. So, and if you come here, you can have a nice Towson mask as well. The situation in the United States, it's like in most countries, it's up and down, depends on your state. I have to tell you that if you are interested in health science, becoming a doctor, working in pharmacy, working in mental health, this is one of the best universities for it. This is one of the best states to be in for that type of training. Most of the Towson is surrounded by a lot of hospitals. Just within that I can think of, we're surrounded by 4. And they're all teaching hospitals. So that is a very advantageous location to be in. So going back to your question about COVID, the university is trying to become, well, we are currently in person. We are required to wear masks in the classrooms and through the hallways. We're not required to wear masks if we're outside, so that's a good thing. But if we have a gathering of people, we're required to wear masks as well outside. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much. Also, we have another question regarding accommodation.
Is campus located in the city center? I just wonder, apartment rates, if I prefer accommodations out of campus. We do have outside campus accommodations. Rates will vary, and we have a page where you can take a look at apartments that are off campus that provided discounts to Towson students. So that's a possibility. What about your question, Sanep?
Yeah, you answered the question. It was from Jada.
Okay. I thought it was about a recommendation for recommendation letters. No?
No, it's accommodation.
Accommodations. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. Let's see. We talked about expenses. We talked about how to apply. The biggest question that I usually get, which doesn't really apply at this stage, is about the I-20. And so the reason why we ask you to apply early is because we're asking you to get all your paperwork on time to make that visa appointment. I don't know, I forgot to look into what is the wait time for visas in Turkey, but we want to make sure that every international student has enough time to make visas so they can, to get their visa appointment so that they can be here in the United States on time. And to request the I-20, what you need to do is basically submit a copy of your passport and financial documents, a bank statement and a statement of willingness or the government financial guarantee to the International Student Office, to the International Student and Scholars Office. Once those documents are verified and approved, the ISSO, the office I just mentioned, will produce your I-20 immigration document. With that, you will have your CVIS number, and with that number, you will be able to make your visa appointment. Anything else? Anyone interested in liberal arts, or is it all business and STEM? Did everybody understand the cookie analogy? All right. Any other questions? I'm trying to take a look at the various different things that we might have. Oh yeah. So for some of you, the average class size is around 24 students. So for a large public school, this is a very good number. And what that would mean is that you have all the equipment and advantages of a large school with the attention of a small school. Towson University is considered one of the safest campuses in the university system of Maryland, and it has been in the top 100 safest schools in the United States, according to U.S. News World Report. Anything else? Somebody asked about clubs. We have over 250 clubs and organizations that will range from academic to cultural to cultural to sports. And as I mentioned before, if we do not have it, we can help you build it. As I mentioned before, we have 16 dining locations, three convenience stores for meals. Oh, here's something cool. If you download the Grubhub app and you connect it to Towson University, you could order your food while you're in class and basically avoid the line and then keep going to your next class or to your residence hall or to your apartment. So there is that. I think this is the basic information or the ingredients for my cookie. I was wondering, are there any other questions?
Yes, we have another new question from Ferda Jose. Could you please answer that too?
I see it now. Please talk about bachelor's fees and business administration. Our business administration program, what do you mean by bachelor fees? Like the tuition? Tuition runs about $27,000 per year. This does not include housing or meals. That is an estimate of around $20,000. So usually what we're looking at is around $46,000, as I mentioned before, $46,000 plus. In terms of business administration is one of the largest and most popular majors here. Accounting within business, the business school is one of the largest majors. Other concentrations that are particularly important are marketing and finance. There's a lot of students who do accounting and finance or finance and marketing. We tend to think of those students or careers that will never be unemployed. They're called recession-free because you always need somebody who handles the money, so either to account it or to plan for it. However, there's been a new development that came out just last year, which is called business processes, which deals a lot with analytics, and this has been designated as a STEM program from the business school. This mixes very well with our master's in marketing intelligence. The business school, there's something important. When we do admissions, we are major blind. What that means is that we are reviewing your application without looking at what you want to study. The reason for that is because over 70% of students will change their mind, their major, sometime during their first 2 years. And it's usually because they will take a class or will speak with somebody or will meet a professor who will suddenly spark a completely different interest. So that being said, business is one of those where we are screen majors, which means that you have to pass a certain amount of classes during your first 2 years as part of your curriculum. And if you have a certain GPA, then you will be allowed to go into that program. If you don't get that GPA, you're going to have to find another major. Okay? But that's another little thing about the business administration. If you have more specific questions, we can talk about this offline. You can write me at the email I put on the chat. I can send you more specific information, or I can make a private conversation where we can do a Zoom call. And that's open to everyone here.
Yes, Jose. Also, I would like to address another question to you. Do the students have a work permit while studying on campus or off campus? Because you mentioned there is a convenience store in campus. Could you please give a little bit of information about that too?
So it will depend on your visa, but most of our students are F1 or J1 students. If you're an F1 student, you are only allowed to work on campus. As I said, after graduation, you have an OPT opportunity, but also once you get to be a sophomore, and if you start working early with your career services counselor, you can also start doing internships. Most internships are for credit, but some of them will give you credit and they might even pay you. They're not often, they're unlikely, but they exist.
Good to hear that they have an option.
Well, they have several options. And by the way, the university works or runs on student employment. So there's opportunity to work at pretty much any office. And if you're cool to me, come and work with me. I need help.
Yes, thank you very much for your answers. I think we covered all of the questions and you put your email address in the chat box. So if they have any other questions regarding Towson University, they can directly contact you.
Absolutely. Again, my name is Jose Infante, and you can find me at the email address that I put in, and I'm doing it again. At towson.edu.
Yes, thank you very much for the great presentation. We believe it was a really informative webinar for the attendees, and you covered all of the questions. Thank you for your answers too.
You're very welcome. I look forward to seeing all of your applications.
Also, I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Towson University ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için Jose'nin paylaşmış olduğu mail adresinden ulaşabilirsiniz. Umarız sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. Herkese iyi hafta sonları dileriz. Thank you very much again, Jose. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Thank you all.